can go ahead, get into the second segment where I talk about where we're going to talk about the NBA Cup Finals. And so, actually, before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and just recap the NBA Cup semifinals and the results of this game. I picked the Bucks to win this game, even though I wouldn't have been surprised if the Hawks were able to come out on top. And I also picked the Thunder to win this game. And I ended up getting both of those games right. And we'll talk about the Bucks game first. This should also be noted, Darvin Ham, he has yet to lose a single NBA Cup game or NBA in-season tournament game. He has never lost in the NBA Cup before. He won all of the games with the Lakers, and now he's won all of the games with the Bucks, and he has one more game to play in order to cement that flawless record. And of course, these games do not count to the regular season. They're like its own independent thing, which is a little bit unfortunate, but the Bucks, they won the game 110-102 against the Hawks. Giannis Antetokounmpo ended the game with 32 points, 14 rebounds, and 9 assists. He has never had a game where he has shot below 50% from the field, which is incredible considering how the Bucks have been struggling a little bit. Like, I mean, having those super early losses in the season, meanwhile, Giannis is out here balling and just doing his best LeBron impression, and they still can't win a couple of games. I mean, like, this man was on a mission. The fact that he's so efficient from the field is unbelievable to me. Like, with his play style, like, a lot of people, they like to say, oh, he's just running and dunking, blah, 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 blah. If you can run and dunk and average 32 points per game, and never shoot below 50% from the field, I would be doing that all the time. Like, what do you mean? Like, if you could get 32 points, you're going to get 32 points. There's nothing complicated about that. I genuinely don't understand. Like, if it was that simple as running and dunking, everyone would be able to do it, and everyone would be doing what he's doing, but nobody is doing that. So, please, if you could get 32 points just by doing what he does, you would want to do that too. There's no question about it. I mean, it's like 32 points on around 60% shooting from the field. He is unbelievable. He has an effective field goal percentage of 61%. And for the season, he's averaging 61% from the field. He's not really shooting the ball well from three, but you don't have to shoot the ball well from three when you're averaging 32 points just by running, euro stepping, and dunking the ball. It's not that difficult. Like, it is difficult because, again, like, if anyone can do it, then everyone would do it. But it's impressive what he's able to do and how efficiently he's able to do it. Dame in this game, he got 25 points, 7 assists, and 6 rebounds. And for the Atlanta Hawks in this one, Trae Young balled out. He played a very good game. He ended the game with 35 points, 10 assists, and 7 rebounds. I saw a clip of him actually playing some defense, so he really put some effort into this one, but it wasn't enough to go up against the Bucks. Surprisingly, it wasn't enough, and that's mainly because the rest of the team around Trae Young was pretty bad. DeAndre Hunter, he ended the game 5 for 16 with only 15 points. Jalen Johnson ended with 6 for 15 with only 15 points. And Dyson Daniels ended with 11 points and ended up going 5 for 10 from the field. You know, it would be very, very useful if they had their number 1 overall pick playing well in this game, don't you think? No, he ends up going 1 for 3 from the field and records 2 points. Fantastic work right there. I don't understand why this guy was drafted number 1 overall. I don't understand why both of those French guys were drafted at number 1 and number 2. They've been horrendous for their team, and they've been a detriment to their team. I am so confused how they were able to get the number 1 overall pick. If Victor Wembanyama was not drafted last year, I don't think these guys would be even considered to be in the NBA at all. That's my take. And I know it's kind of ridiculous, but these guys, I just don't see it. I don't see the usefulness from Alexander Czar. I don't see the usefulness from Zachary Rasacher. I don't see it at all. I genuinely don't. So next game was between the Thunder and the Houston Rockets. Now, the Thunder, they ended up winning 111-96. The fact that the Thunder are still such an incredibly competent team without Chet Holmgren, it really is like scary to think what they're going to do in the postseason. And, I mean, assuming they can continue their success and assuming Shai Gilgeous-Alexander can continue to stay healthy. He ended the game with 32 points, 5 steals, 6 assists, and 8 rebounds. And he didn't really shoot the ball that well from the field, 8 for 21. But again, 32 points is 32 points. That's like his signature. Isaiah Hartenstein ended with 21 points, 9 for 12. Very good game from him. Jalen Williams didn't really play that well, 8 for 20 with only 20 points. But again, it wasn't really with the lineup and the rotations that they have. It seems like this team, like the Rockets, they didn't really come to play in this one. So it's not like they really needed to do all that much to win in this game. The Rockets shot 23% from the field. Again, if you're shooting like that from the field, it's very difficult to win any game against any opponent in this league. And Amen Thompson, he ended the game with 19 points, 9 for 15 from the field. Dylan Brooks ended the game with 14 points, 5 for 17 from the field. Atrocious shooting, especially from 3, 4 for 13. And Sengun played bad as well, 6 for 16, 13 points. Fred VanVleet also played really bad in this one, 1 for 11 from 3 and 3 for 15 from the field. Jalen Green also played bad in this one, 5 for 14, 1 of 8 from 3, and 12 points. Basically, the Rockets, they played so bad that it was almost impossible for the Thunder to lose this one. I mean, when your best players are going 5 for 17, 6 for 16, 5 for 14, and 3 for 15, you're not winning that game. It's like you're not winning that game. You're asking to lose. And that's exactly what happened here. So the NBA Cup Finals, the matchup is going to be between the Bucks and the Oklahoma City Thunder. Very, very intense matchup. I'm going to go ahead and pick the Thunder in this one just because I still do not trust the Bucks. I will say, however, that the Bucks, they do have a much better matchup advantage going up against the Thunder. The Bucks, I mean, having Giannis Antetokounmpo, there's no one on the Thunder that can really guard Giannis. Isaiah Hartenstein might have a shot, but again, he's Giannis, so it's like I don't really think that there's going to be much of a chance at stopping him. You have to if you're the Thunder, you have to hope that everyone else on the Bucks is having a bad game. You have to hope that Dame is not shooting the ball all that well. You have to hope that Bobby Portis doesn't have like 20 points out of nowhere. You have to hope that the rest of the Bucks lineup is going to play like the rest of the Bucks lineup and how they usually play. Like you can't have Damian Lillard dominate the game. You can't have Brook Lopez come in and shoot a couple of good threes. You can't have those guys actually get good looks and actually like have an impact on the game. If it's just Giannis, you might have a chance. And even then, that's a very small chance because Giannis could easily drop 50 on this Thunder team. So that's my prediction. That's all that I have for the recap of the NBA Cup semifinals and who I think is going to win in this game. So now we're going to go ahead and go into the third segment where I talk about Shedeur Sanders going viral in this clip that I got of him. I'm not going to show the clip, obviously, but I'll be right back after the short break, so be sure to stay tuned if you guys are interested.
Looking for your daily fix of sports talk without having to pay for it? GSMC Sports Network is available on YouTube. Just search GSMC Sports Network. Get your fix of daily sports talk shows on YouTube, absolutely free. NFL, college football, NBA, MLB, MMA, UFC, fantasy football, and so much more. GSMC Sports Network has shows running all day long, with new sports shows starting every 2 hours. Just like on your favorite cable sports channel, except GSMC Sports Network is absolutely free. Just search GSMC Sports Network on YouTube to catch one of your new favorite shows, like the GSMC College Football Podcast, Chip Shot Football Podcast, Hoops and Heels Women's Sports Podcast, GSMC Basketball Podcast, and so many more. Check it out for yourself. GSMC Sports Network, now available on YouTube absolutely free. Search GSMC Sports Network on YouTube right now.